Thanks so much, Alan Fisher there. Thanks for that update on a very fluid situation. Talk about fluid situations. While we've been on air, some pictures have come in. We want to show them to you now. These are live pictures coming in from a Shifa hospital in Gaza, where there's just been an Israeli strike at the gate just in front of that hospital. Well, this comes just hours after we heard from the head of the health ministry in Gaza that only four hospitals are actually still functioning in the Gaza Strip. Let's talk to Yumna Stage. She joins us now on the phone from Gaza City. So Yumna, let's start with the very latest, this strike on a Shifa hospital. Tell us about what that has done.
Yes, Sami. So that was a drone missile that was hit on the front gate of Shifa Hospital. Of course, there are casualties from that strike between killed and injured. We still don't know the exact figure since the attack has just happened. Let's note that the Shifa Hospital has over 5,000 patients of the injuries in that complex and tens of thousands of displaced people in the front yards and the backyards of a Shifa complex. A Shifa is the largest hospital in Gaza City and the Gaza Strip. But this is not the only attack. The ambulances that have been taking injuries now and heading to the Rafah crossing. In a press conference, a Shifa hospital was just saying that they want, they demand international protection for these ambulances, as they have been being targeted on Rashid Street the past days, and they were asking on air the Red Cross to escort these ambulances on their trip to the Rafah crossing. That's when an ambulance also got hit from those groups. Now, we still don't have any news about the ambulances that got targeted in that group of ambulances that were heading towards Rafah. We know this from local sources at a Shifa hospital itself just after the striking of the front gate of a Shifa.
Yumna, in addition to the strike on Shifa Hospital, in addition to the strike you mentioned on ambulances, there was also very grim pictures circulating showing the aftermath of an Israeli strike on a civilian convoy, we understand, heading from the north towards the south, where Israel had told people to go. Can you tell us what we know about that strike on the Al-Rashid Road? Or let me just warn viewers, these pictures you might find distressing, so they're quite difficult pictures to watch, but this is the aftermath, civilians and civilian goods strewn all over a road. We're playing those pictures now, Yumna. I know you're in Gaza City. I can only imagine the sort of life and death decisions civilians like you have to make about, is it safer to stay in Gaza City, where the Israeli army has told people to get out, or is it actually more dangerous to do what these civilians apparently tried to do, which is get out of the north and head to the south?
Well, actually, these civilians are heading to the south according to the Israeli army's constant orders and leaflets that it keeps on throwing on the civilians, and even calls that it keeps on making on these civilians' homes and phones to tell them to instantly evacuate, and the time is running out from them. So they are taking the risk to evacuate to the south, but all through the past days, 4 days now in a row, we have seen targeting on Rashid Street. Although the Israeli tanks are not on Rashid Street, they are on Salahuddin Street, but cars and convoys of civilians that are heading towards the south are being targeted by tank shells from Salahuddin Street and airstrikes at the same time. Now, at least even before that, at least 8 children have been killed today in the convoy of the civilian cars that were taken or that were taking their way to the south. Most of the people who have been killed in this targeting are women and children. And until now, the medical sources have told us that 3 men at least have been killed, while dozens have been injured in that attack on the civilian cars heading south.
All right, Yumna Sayed, who continues to report to us from inside Gaza City, now surrounded by Israeli forces. We thank you for your updating us and reporting to us on the situation there in the north.
Las fuerzas estadounidenses en Irak y Siria han sido duramente atacadas con drones o cohetes al menos 24 veces en los últimos días, incluidos al menos 3 ataques en las últimas 72 horas, según indican informes de inteligencia estadounidenses. Al menos 5 de estos ataques se lanzaron después de que las fuerzas estadounidenses arremetieran en contra de 2 instalaciones en el este de Siria, utilizadas por el Cuerpo de la Guardia Revolucionaria Islámica de Irán y grupos afiliados durante las primeras horas de la mañana del viernes. En el último ataque, se utilizaron múltiples cohetes contra la base aérea de Al-Assad en el oeste de Irak, informó un funcionario de defensa bajo condición de anonimato debido a cuestiones de seguridad. En respuesta a los ataques de fuerzas proxy iraníes en contra de bases militares estadounidenses en Irak, el presidente de los Estados Unidos, Joe Biden, anunció que las fuerzas estadounidenses concentradas en sus bases militares en Irak deben abandonar el país. Han sido revelados videos en donde se observa tropas estadounidenses comenzando a abandonar Irak a un ritmo acelerado, tras los ataques masivos realizados en contra de sus bases militares en el país. Esto fue informado y documentado por un importante medio de comunicación ruso. El video muestra a soldados estadounidenses formados en una larga fila abordando aviones de transporte de grandes dimensiones. El video en cuestión fue grabado en uno de los aeropuertos militares estadounidenses de Irak. Biden dijo que el retiro de las tropas estadounidenses de Irak se llevará a cabo de manera ordenada y segura. Las tropas estadounidenses comenzarán a retirarse de inmediato y se espera que